Hoorah. It is all about the supreme holiness of the female, rooted in the sacred truth of her sexuality. She holy. I am Dr. Minister Vermont Prince for the Om Institute, Church of Christ Consciousness for Worldwide Hope. This live is about the MEDUPHYSICS of hip-hop. Hip-hop is two words. Hip-hop. HIP-HOP. Two, as we know of in this matrix, is a number of balance. Such as this, in this particular paradigm that we're in, this matrix, two usually corresponds with opposites, meaning gender. Up, down, in, out, left, right, back, forth, female, male, life, death, do, don't, the list goes on. Fire, water, so many contrasts. And these contrasts usually work in the essence of balance in order to procreate. And that's what hip-hop does. Hip-hop, two words. Opposite genders corresponding to procreate. Hip-hop is a procreation. It's supposed to produce a third element or a third factor, which is both yet neither. You have hip and hop. Hip typically means in ancient slang or our old slang to be cool, to be in the know, knowledge. Hip does mean to be cool, to be accepted as a part of, to be included. Also means to be, hip means to know, to be aware of. And usually it means to be hip or be aware because you're included. Because you yourself are a part of a specific paradigm, it makes you privy to certain knowledge. Hop is movement. Hip is the feminine principle. Hop is the masculine principle. Hop is activity. So in other words, it's once you know and you apply what you know. Hop, the call forth to action. That's what these two principles represent. Now, we have two words, hip-hop, that's the number two. Then, that's that balance. And they're connected by the dash. It's typically a dash because it's one thing connected by two. That's showing the connection, the unity, the principle of gender connecting to produce a third. That's the sexuality, the dash. It's making it clear that that's what the precept of this is. Then on top of that, you have hip, HIP, 3 words, letters, pardon me. Hop, HOP, 3 letters. 3 and 3. 3-3 or 3, which is 33. In this paradigm, this universe operates, this matrix that we are in operates on the premise of 3. 1, 2, 3. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Freedom, justice, equality. Woman, man, child. Up, down, in between. Birth, life, death. It operates on a premise of 3. Solid, liquid, and gas. Yes, no, maybe. It operates on a precept. In order for it to produce, it operates on the 2 principle. Those 2 principles, opposite genders, come together to procreate or produce. But its foundation is the 3. Because once you produce that third factor, those 2 plus the new thing work together as a foundation. And this matrix 3 is that number. That's the first level of the matrix. Then you have 1, 2, and 3. On the second level, you have 11, 22, and 33. Those are master numbers. The first 1, 2, 3 is the first set of master numbers. 11, 22, 33 is the second set of master numbers. 111, 222, 333. 111, 222, 333. Those are the third set of master numbers. Again, you see 3 levels. 111, 1, 2, 3. 11, 22, 33. 111, 222, 333. 3 different levels of master numbers. Hip-hop is the 33. It's the last of the second stage, opening the door for us to move on to the 111 of the next and the last highest number, highest level. Once you reach the 333, you can begin to unlock this matrix and get out. Without getting to that 333, you're always going to be kind of trapped here. That's the whole reality of it's just it. You're going to be here. So we have to get into the essence of what is really hip-hop. And they talk about the different elements of hip-hop. There are more than 5 elements of hip-hop. You know, they say breakdance, graffiti, DJing, MCing. I left out something. Beatbox. They say those were the elements of hip-hop, right? Fashion is also one of the elements of hip-hop. That was, I mean, some people include it. I've seen people include that. But that's a very big part of hip-hop. You could not be considered once upon a time as hip-hop if you didn't dress in a certain culture. Hip-hop is produced through a specific culture. It's produced from the lowest. Hip-hop was produced by the people at the very bottom of the bottom of the bottom. There was nothing lower than that. This was the birth. It birthed from the very bottom and is elevating itself. So if hip-hop has its roots. Now, I'm going to say this very briefly. There are people now trying to change hip-hop. If hip-hop as a seed, let's think of it as a seed. If hip-hop as a seed is an apple seed, or pear seed, or watermelon seed, I'm talking about the one that you can plant and grow, not just one that you could just, it doesn't do anything. One that you can plant and grow. If you put the seeds in the ground, it's going to yield. If you plant a pear tree seed, it's not going to grow apples. It's not going to grow oranges. It's not going to grow watermelons. It's not going to grow anything but the pears that it is. It's the same thing for any other tree. It's only going to yield what it is. There are people that's trying to change the root of hip-hop. They're trying to say, this tree is planted, and okay, it's this kind of tree, but as it blossoms, it can become something else. No, only thing it can do is grow and express itself in a bigger way. In other words, it was a seed. It was this little, and it looked one way. You plant it, boom, it bursts open, and it starts to give you roots. Then it starts to give you branches. Then or a trunk. It starts to give you branches. It starts to give you maybe leaves. Then it starts to give you the buds of fruits. Then it starts to metamorphosize into certain fruits. So forth and so on. The only thing it's showing you is what it really was. When you see a seed and then you see an orange tree, you say, well, that looks totally different. It looks totally different, but it's the same thing. There are people out here that's trying to change the very essence of what hip-hop actually is. They're trying to change its seed. They're trying to say, no, even though it was planted to be this seed and it should grow into this kind of tree, it's not going to do that. It's going to go into this kind of tree. We must be very careful of that, because hip-hop is a tree that was planted. When they speak in the Garden of Eden about the tree of everlasting life that was taken from us, they say that the tree of knowledge of good and evil and the tree of everlasting life is there. Man chose the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Then they say the tree of everlasting life was blocked by, these cherubims. They blocked the tree, and a flaming sword was put in all the 4 directions, right? Okay, that's metaphoric. The hip-hop is the tree. It's been replanted to give us. The hip-hop is no more than is MEDUPHYSICS, not metaphysics, MEDUPHYSICS. So we must be very, very careful about if we allow people to change hip-hop. They will take away. You cannot take away from the tree. The tree is the tree. And there are other elements of hip-hop, as I said. We must be very, very, very careful about letting people attempt to change the essence of what hip-hop is. Because you're changing it from one tree to another. You can't do that. All you do is cut one tree down and plant another tree and just say, oh, look at that tree. That's not even the same tree anymore. Realistically, you cannot change one tree to another tree. It just doesn't happen. That's not reality. But they're trying to make us believe that these kind of things can be done. Hip-hop is metaphysics. And I'm going to give you more on that in the very, very, very near future. Rahul.